Do you remember how Trump was going to drain the swamp?
She's got a butterfly tat on the back of a you-know-where. I let her
You know how Erika Kirk lied about not dating 5 years before she met Charlie Kirk, even though we all know now she was dating a guy named Cabot Phillips who works at Turning Point.
So let's talk about Erika Kirk, because right now the walls are closing in, and what started as whispers in conservative circles has exploded into something far bigger than anyone anticipated. Here's what we know. Allegedly, and I want you to hear this carefully, Erika Kirk's ex-boyfriend leaked X-rated photos. Not just any photos. Photos of them together. Intimate, explicit. The kind of content that doesn't just damage a reputation, it obliterates it. And the fallout? It's been catastrophic. We're hearing claims, unconfirmed, but circulating widely, that Erika could lose her role as CEO of Turning Point USA, the organization Charlie Kirk built from the ground up, the empire she inherited after his sudden death. Gone, just like that. But here's where it gets interesting, because this isn't just about a scandal. This isn't just about photos. This is about lies, years of them, carefully crafted, meticulously maintained, and now they're unraveling in real time. Let me ask you something. What if some of those photos were taken while she was married to Charlie? Pause on that for a second, because if that's true, and we're seeing speculation build around the metadata, the timestamps, the context, then everything she said about her marriage, about how she met Charlie, about the timeline of their relationship, all of it gets called into question. And here's the thing people are starting to ask. If she lied to Charlie while he was alive, what else has she been lying about since his death?
Everyone's praising Erika Kirk's memorial speech like it was brave, but when you actually start looking into her, it gets dark fast. And I stand on what I said. It seemed more like a rally than a memorial.
That's the question hanging over this entire story, and it's not going away. Now, let's rewind, because to understand why this is hitting so hard, you need to understand the image Erika Kirk has sold to the public for years. She's positioned herself as the pure, godly woman, the one who met the love of her life, married him, became a stay-at-home mother, and lived a life of discipline and devotion. She's been the face of conservative virtue, the ideal, the example, and people bought it. But now, the contrast between that image and what these leaked photos allegedly show is stark, and it's raising uncomfortable questions about who Erika Kirk really is. Let's go back to a CBS Morning interview. You might have seen it. Erika sits down, poised, confident, and she makes a very specific claim. She says she never dated anyone before meeting Charlie. Not casually, not in passing. She emphasizes it. She talks about discipline, holiness, being different from other girls. This wasn't a throwaway comment. This was a moral credential, a foundation of her public identity.
What I will say is, when I lived out here, I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than going, I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. So it goes twofold here.
And here's the problem. It doesn't hold up, because when you start looking at the timestamps on these photos, when you start piecing together her life before Charlie, a very different picture emerges. Erika was living in New York City. She was single, she was dating, socializing, partying, and we're not speculating here. There's footage. She appeared on Bravo's Summer House, Season 3, filmed in August 2018, scenes at NYC bars, scenes in the Hamptons, footage of her drinking, laughing, living the life of a 20-something in Manhattan. Does that sound like the disciplined, never dated, holier-than-thou woman she described in that CBS interview? No, it doesn't. And it gets worse, because Erika didn't just casually date. There's evidence she had serious relationships with at least 2 men before Charlie. Men she's never publicly acknowledged. Men whose existence contradicts everything she's claimed. One of those men, Tyler J.T. Massey, Tyler Massey, pro baseball player, and according to Erika's own words that have since been scrubbed from the internet but archived by people who knew to look, he was her favorite human, her best friend, her incredible boyfriend. There's even speculation they were engaged. No confirmed marriage records, but engagement-style photos? Yeah, those resurfaced after Charlie's death, and they tell a very different story than the one Erika has been telling. Now here's where things get eerie. There's footage from a 2015 Trump rally that's recently resurfaced. And in that footage, you can see Erika standing next to a man. Between them, a young girl. Online, people are speculating. Could that girl be Erika and Massey's child? We don't have confirmation, but the speculation exists, and it's not baseless. And here's the detail that makes this even more interesting. Tyler Boyer is in that same frame.
You know, the men that are they're grabbing the low-hanging fruit, meaning on the apps. Women get upset when they go on a date with a guy they found on an app and all of a sudden they ghost them. To me, it's because the guy didn't have to hunt for them. Not saying they have to hunt for a woman, but they do have to seek out a wife.
Tyler Boyer. Hold that name, because he's about to become very important. Tyler Boyer is the man who later introduced Erika to Charlie. He's now a leading figure at Turning Point USA. And when you realize that he was in Erika's orbit years before she met Charlie, the question becomes unavoidable. Why did Erika scrub this history? Why did she portray herself as someone untouched by dating, by relationships, by the messiness of romantic life? Was her public story intentionally misleading? And if so, why? Because here's the thing people keep overlooking. Erika often skips over her connection to Tyler Boyer. She glosses past it, treats it like background noise, but this is the point where things stop looking accidental.
And that was until I hosted the first Trump rally in Trump rally history right here in Arizona in 2015. I got a call from Miss Erika Kirk, Miss Arizona 2012. I just want to help, she said. So naturally, I put her right behind the president at that first rally.
Tyler Boyer became COO of Turning Point USA in 2017, and it was Boyer who arranged the meeting between Erika and Charlie. It was framed as a professional job interview, a networking opportunity. But according to Erika's own narrative, it became their first date. Romantic, right? Kismet, destiny. Except here's the problem. At the time Boyer set up that meeting, Erika wasn't single. She was dating someone else. His name, Cabot Phillips. Let that sink in for a second. Cabot Phillips, senior editor at the Daily Wire, working directly under Ben Shapiro. And at the exact time Erika was being introduced to Charlie Kirk, she was in a relationship with a man who worked for one of Charlie's biggest rivals. Because let's not forget, Charlie and Shapiro were publicly clashing at this time. Tension over donor influence, political positioning, power struggles within the conservative movement. So when Erika meets Charlie while dating Cabot Phillips, who works for Shapiro, the optics, they're not great, and the questions start piling up. Was there political pressure, donor influence, overlapping power circles manipulating relationships behind the scenes? And we know Erika and Cabot were together because there's a tweet, September 2017. Erika and Cabot on a painting date. The caption confirms it. They were a couple. This is the same woman who later claimed she lived a quiet, disciplined life, who never dated, who met Charlie and it was fate. The story doesn't add up. And here's another uncomfortable detail. There are photos of Cabot and Charlie together, socializing, playing basketball, moving in the same spaces. So this wasn't strangers being introduced. This was people who already knew each other, who ran in the same circles, which makes the random meeting narrative questionable at best. Now, once you align the timelines, once you start placing Erika's life in New York, her relationship with Cabot, her connection to Tyler Boyer, her alleged relationship with Tyler Massey, the window for when these leaked photos were taken becomes a lot clearer. And here's what's important. These photos only resurface after Charlie's death, after Erika took over TPUSA, after she became a public figure in her own right. to critics, that timing doesn't feel coincidental. And inside Turning Point USA chaos, there are alleged internal memos circulating, mentions of emergency meetings, leadership restructuring, claims that Erika may lose her CEO position, a position she assumed shortly after Charlie's death. Remember, the optics of that are complicated. Now, will these photos ever reach mainstream media? Probably not. They're too explicit. Networks won't touch them, but their existence, that's done the damage. The threat of their release has become leverage, and reputations don't recover from this kind of thing. And this is the part where the story shifts, because the scrutiny isn't just on Erika anymore. It's expanding. People are starting to look at the men around her, the ones who were involved in her rise, the ones who facilitated her relationships, the ones who've stayed conspicuously quiet, and at the center of that, Cabot Phillips. Because here's what's wild. In the middle of all this chaos, Cabot launches a Turning Point USA tour. It's called How to Lead Like Charlie. Read that again. How to Lead Like Charlie. The man who dated Erika before she met Charlie, whose relationship with her has now been exposed, is touring the country speaking on behalf of the organization Charlie built, teaching people how to lead like him. Does that sit right with you? Because it doesn't sit right with a lot of people. And when you start digging into Cabot's background, things get even stranger. His father, Tim Phillips, former head of Americans for Prosperity, forced out in 2021. The reason? Personal impropriety. That's all we got. No details, no explanation, just personal impropriety. And he's gone. What does that mean? We don't know, but it raises questions. And then there's this, a Reddit post, take it for what it's worth, claims that the Phillips family ran a cult-like megachurch in Leesburg, Virginia. Lee Cabot's brother, listed as an assistant pastor at Cornerstone Chapel. Again, we're in speculation territory here, but the connections are notable, and here's where things get really uncomfortable. Cabot Phillips has a tattoo, a pizza tattoo. Now, normally that's not a big deal, but remember, Charlie Kirk made claims publicly about pizza being coded language for evil acts, coded symbolism tied to dark conspiracies, and now Cabot, with his political ties, his proximity to Erika, his family's murky background, has a pizza tattoo. People are noticing and they're asking questions. So here's where we land. Why did Cabot introduce Erika to Charlie? Was leverage already in play? Were these photos, these explicit, damaging photos, always out there, waiting to be used? Some people think the resurfacing of this content wasn't accidental, that it was deliberate, that someone is pulling strings. Because look at what's happening now. Erika's allies are distancing themselves. The same names keep appearing at every key moment. Tyler Boyer, Cabot Phillips, the donor networks, the political operatives. And the question everyone's asking is this: is Erika Kirk finally being exposed for who she really is? Or is someone exercising leverage over her? Because one way or another, the truth is coming out. And when it does, the entire conservative movement may have to reckon with what's been hiding in plain sight.